from RTO here. Welcome to another Ladies' Day on RTO. Last Tuesday of the month is dedicated to female artists, and today both our artists come from north of the border. And so the album ranking today, we are going to be looking at the albums of K T Tunstall, born Kate Victoria Tunstall on the 23rd of June 1975. She first gained attention when she appeared on later with Jules Holland. She's made 7 albums, including the new one that came out on 9th of September. Apart from doing her albums, she's done music for soundtracks for films. She's included Boy for the Kid, Miracle for a Winter's Tale, We Could Be King for $1 Million Arm. Just quite a few. Also, she's had for Mercury Prize in 2005, a Brit Award for the Best British Live Act. She's won 2 or 3 Brits. She's a really good singer, writes her own stuff. So as I said, she's had released now 7 albums. So coming in at number 7, we have the 7th album, released on the 9th of September of this year, and it is called Nut. Now Nut is the final part of a trilogy she did, Soul, Body and Mind. The first 2 albums, of course, of the trilogy were Kin and Wax, and obviously we'll talk about them very shortly. So appearing on here is K T Tunstall, with doing vocals, guitars, bass guitars, keyboards, synths and programming, which means one thing, doesn't it? A drum machine. And also appearing on here is longtime collaborator Martin Terif, who plays bass guitar, synths and piano and backing vocals. First track, it's called Out of Touch. As ever, Katie's vocals are really good. Some good guitar work. She's a very good guitar player. But guess what? It's got a drum machine on it, and the drum machine is far too fast, and it doesn't seem to be in sync with the rest of the song, because the song's pretty good, but the drums just really don't fit on this one. Second track, I Am a Pilot. Again, it's a really good tune, great vocal, but that drum machine's just a little bit too fast. Doesn't seem to. I think they're trying to play catch up with the drum machine, which is a shame because it is a really good song. Then there's a track on here called 3. My favourite track on this album. It's got a lovely vocal from Katie. There's no drum machine on it. It's just Katie guitars, and it's a really good track. I recommend that one. Dear Shadow. This is a pretty good track. This time the drum machine sounds fine, and it falls in with the song. Great vocal again. She's really got a strong voice. Like that track. Private Eyes. This is probably the poppy, plastic poppy sound that every sort of artist does at the moment. I don't like the track. You know, don't go into the realms of what everybody else does. Then we get a track called Canyons. Love the riff at the beginning of this. Some great guitar work on this. Good track. Synapse. It's a pretty ordinary sort of thing. I think it's the drum machine that sort of gives it a bit of plastic-y to it. Demigod. It's just a generic sort of pop song, and I don't like it. All the Time, great track. Out the Top Drawer. Some great guitar work on that, really good. And then Brain in a Jar, another fantastic track with just piano and Katie. Good way to in the album. I feel this is a bit of a mixed bag here, this new album. It has got some really good tracks. Just sort out your programming on your drum machine if you're going to use one. And I think it's sort of, I was a little bit disappointed with it in places, but the tracks that are good are very good. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, then coming in number 6, we go to the third album, released in 2010, Tiger Suit. There's loads of people playing on here. List as long as your arm. So I'm not going to mention them all. But the main person, of course, is K T Tunstall, and I think Martin Tarif is on here as well. First song on here is called the Almanac Song. Very quirky little track. Some great guitar work from Katie on this. Absolutely brilliant. Glamour Puss. It's a good track. Yes, she's still using drum sequencing on this, I think. And it's really good. Very catchy tune. Third track, Push That Knot Away. My favourite track. Got some great guitar riffs here from Katie. Very upbeat, good tempo, really good song. Difficulty, solid, nothing wrong with this one. Good little rock track from Katie. Fade Like a Shadow. It's a little bit stop-start, this track. It's not bad, it's not good. It's just a bit dysfunctional. And then we get Lost, very solid track. Some good guitar work on this as well. Golden Flames, which features C6 Steve. Great track. Guitar work is brilliant. They've got a shuffly drum beat on this. Really good. Come On, Get In. Good track again. Solid rock track from Katie. Then we got Still a Weirdo. This is a little quirky number. There's one thing about Katie. She writes these really quirky rock pop songs. It's really good, that one. Then we get Madame Trudeau. Again, catchy. Great drumming in this. The riffs are strong. The Entertainer. Don't mind this one. Very nice vocal from Katie. That's how the album ends. Not a bad album. Quite a lot of good tracks on here. Some nice rockers. A little bit of pop in there. But it's a really good listen. And I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, then coming in at number 5, we've got the fourth album now. This was released in 2013, and it's Invisible Empire, Crescent Moon. This is a more sort of acoustic-y album in places. Pretty cool album. First track, Invisible Empire. Love this track. It's just Katie and her guitar. Love it. Really strong voice. Made of Glass. I love the whistling in this. Really good track. How You Kill Me. This is another gentle track. A lot of keyboard, a little bit of keyboard in here, and guitar. Great vocal from Katie. Carried. A really good track. The sample, the drum, the percussion, which I think is machine, really gives this track a lot of atmosphere. It's a good song. Old Man Song. Really nice guitar work from Katie on this one, and as ever, a strong vocal. Then we get Yellow Flower. This is one of Katie's best vocals on this album. It's got some really nice, gentle pieces from her singing. Really nice song. Then we get Crescent Moon. A lovely piano on this. Some nice strings. solid track. Waiting on the Heart, very gentle track, atmospheric, nice gentle drums, some nice guitar, really good. Feel It All. Now this is one of the songs on this album that's really a bit more up tempo. Good guitar solo on this, and it's my favourite track on the album. And then we get Chimes, which features Hal Glebe. Pleasant song. It's just a nice song. Then we get Honeydew. Love the quirky tune on here. Again, one of them quirky tunes with a nice hook. Very, very good song. Then we get No Better Shoulder. Love the harmonies in this. There's some really nice harmonies on this. Then they do a Feel It All and a band jam. It's just an edited version of the song, which is pretty good. This was a more gentle acoustic album from Katie, but it's a really good one. Some really nice songs on here that shows her abilities as a songwriter, and I just like the simplicity of this album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. Now, coming in at number 4 is the 5th album, released in 2016. And it is from the trilogy of Soul, Body and Mind. And this one is the first one, Kin. On here we've got K T Tunstall, vocals, guitars, keyboards, bass, programming, flute and synths. Tony Hoffa, guitar, programming, synths and bass. James Bay, vocals and guitar. Dave McLean, organ and programming. Denny Weston Jr. on the drums and percussion. Dave Palmer on organ, synths, keyboards and synth bass. Joseph Carnes plays bass on here. And we've got Charlotte Hathery on electric guitar and ambient guitar. And the strings were arranged by David Campbell. First track on here is called Hard Girls. Great track. Great opening riff. Good opening track to the album. Turned a light on. Acoustic guitar, and this is really nice. Great track. Like that one a lot. Maybe it's a good thing. It's one of these poppy songs. I don't know if it's pressure from a record label, do a single, and they just, when they say get a single out there, they just make it too commercial, and it doesn't sound right, and I don't like it. Evil Eye, very quirky tune, some good guitar work, some nice singing on that, really good. Then we get to my favourite track. It's a long title. It's called It Took Me So Long to Get Here, But I Am Here. Very much in the Bangles sort of style of poppy rock songs. Really like this song. It's a great vocal from Katie. On My Star, nice song again. Got some really strong vocals. Even the little drum machine programming sounds good on this. Really strong track. Then we get Two Way, which features James Bay. Love the song. Some really nice harmonies here with James Bay. Solid track. Then we get Run On Home again, with it's one of her catchy, quirky tunes that really gets you in straight away. And then the title track, Kin. Really nice song. It's got some lovely harmonies. One of my favourite songs on this album. Terrific stuff. Everything has its shape. It's got a bit of a 60s feel to this, and probably why I like it. Really quirky tune. And the last track, Love Is an Ocean. Solid track, great lyric, and some really nice harmonies on this one. A solid album again. There's not a bad track on this, really, even though the poppy one and commercial, it's listenable. And you can see where, you always expect at least one of these sort of songs on these albums. But on the whole, it's a really good album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay then, coming at number 3, we have the second album in the Soul, Body and Mind trilogy. And this is obviously Body, and it's called Wax, and released in 2018. Very much the same sort of people playing on it. We've got K T Tunstall, of course, Nick McCarthy on bass this time, Tim Brann on synths, Roy Kerr on keyboards, Leo Abrahams guitars, Denny Weston Jr. is on here again, Charlotte Hatherley is. We've got Hinko Amoro on keyboards and Wurlitzer, Sophie Solomon on strings, James Valentine on backing vocals on one track. First track on this one, Little Red Thread. Great little rocker to open the album. Excellent vocals from Katie, and the guitar work on this is pretty awesome. I think it's the two ladies, Charlotte and Katie, doing the business. Human Being, really good track. Again, the guitar work on this album is really good. Solid track there. The River, nice quirky song. Bit strange at the beginning. I thought hello, we're gonna have a dance record, but no, it comes back in with some really good riffs. Excellent song. The Mountain. It's just something about this. It's really different. Katie's vocal is fantastic on there. Then we got The Healer in brackets Redux. Love the bass line on this. One of my favourite tracks on the album. Then we get a track called Dark Side of Me. Some great guitar riffs in this one. Real heavy start, and then it goes gentler. I like the change. It's very subtle as well. Poison Your Cup is the next one. Great acoustic song here. It's got a mixture of acoustics and electrics. Pretty good. It's alright, my cursor is going up and down like a yo-yo. Then we got my favourite track on here. It's Backlash and Vinegar. Really good rock track. Probably one of the heaviest tracks for Katie that she's done. Solid track. In this Body, this has got a really nice riff at the start. Great little groovy rock track. The Night That Bowie Died. Nice little tribute from Katie about Bowie. The lyric content in this is really good. I love this song. And then we got Tiny Love. Again, lovely guitar, just Katie singing it, and I just love it. It's just her and her guitar. This is the best of this Soul, Body and Mind trilogy. There's some great rockers on here. Love this album, and I play this one quite a lot, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay then, coming in at number 2, we've got the debut album from 2004, Eye to the Telescope. On here we've got Katie Tunstall vocals, Steve Osborne shell-tone horn and bass and guitars, Anulf Linda the double bass and bass guitar, Luke Bullen on the drums and percussion, and Martin Tarif additional keyboards, and Ian Burge plays cello on a couple of tracks. First track on here, The Other Side of the World. A lot of simplicity to this track. Very simple guitars and drums. Great vocal. Fantastic song. Another Place to Fall. Love the guitar work on here. This is quite raw. Good guitar work from Katie. Under the Weather. This is the first time we really got to hear Katie and her guitar. Excellent track. Then we got a track that really brought her up to the front. It's that Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. A great song. I love this song. One of my favourite songs by Katie Tunstall. Fantastic stuff. Miniature Disasters. An interesting arrangement. And very unusual percussion on it, but the guitar work is great. We've got both electric and acoustic. Strong track. Silent Sea. It's just acoustic guitar and Katie singing. Love it. Love that track. Then my favourite track on here, and it's probably one of my favourite tracks by Katie as well, Universe and You. I love the vocal performance on here. and she's got a little bit of a gravelly voice on this one as well, and got some great riffs in it. Fantastic track. False Alarm, solid track. The guitar work on this from Katie is fantastic. Suddenly I See You, one of the most popular tracks. It's the first track I really heard by K T Tunstall, apart from that one, the Cherry, what's it? But it's a really good track. Loved it. Stopping the Love, the simplicity of this song again. Guitars, just plug it in, no effects, good sound and very raw. Heel Over, a nice acoustic track. This is another fine vocal from Katie. The last track, Through the Dark, I love these sort of tracks. Piano, little bit of drum, an excellent vocal. Great way to end the album. I thought this was a very strong debut album from K T Tunstall. It's got a mixture of acoustic songs and good rockers. Solid album. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 1 then, an album that I think is certainly her best. It was released in 2007. It's a second album and it's called Drastic Fantastic. Got K T Tunstall on here, Luke Bullen on the drums, Sam Lewis backing guitar, Steve Osborne on the bass and backing vocals, Arnoff Linderdus on bass, Kenny Dickinson on the piano, Kat Sava on backing vocals, Jeter Harcourt backing vocals. Opens up with one of my favourite songs, Little Favours. Great rocker to start the album. Good guitar work here. Love it. If Only, a very quirky song, and I like the vocal from Katie on this one. Very good. White Bird. Now this is one of my favourite acoustic style tracks from K T Tunstall. I love the delicate guitars on this. It's a really good track. Funny Man. What I like about Katie's songs, a lot of them start off with this really good riff that really hooks you in at the start, and this is no different. It's a solid track all the way through. Hold On. Now this is my favourite track by Katie. I love the bluesy slide guitar in this. It's a bit bluesy pop rock. Very, very good track. Hopeless. It's a little bit country. She did a little country thing, but it has got some nice guitar work, and she sings on it very well. I Don't Want You Now. Now, that riff actually reminds me of That's Entertainment by Jam, but a more upbeat. Don't know if it's a cheeky nick, but it's a good track. Saving My Face, one of the more poppy songs on this album, but it's still a good track. I love the harmonies and the vocals all round. Beauty of Uncertainty, another good track. Great vocal from Katie on this one. I love the arrangement on this. The guitar work is really delicate. Somebody Soon. I just love this gentleness of this one. Lovely singing from her and telling a story. It's really, really good. Then we get Paper Aeroplane, an acoustic track, and the acoustic guitar really adds atmosphere from this track. This is a great album. It's got everything you need from a fine musician. Some great rockers, a little bit of country sounding, some acoustic songs, bit poppy. I think this is probably her best singing on that she did on her albums, and that's why it's my number 1. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, that's part 1 of Ladies' Day done, and as I said earlier that we have got another singer from the north of the border. So retro ranking today. We've already done her in one of the groups. There's a retro, and that's the Eurythmics. So we're looking at the solo songs from Annie Lennox. So join me for that one, and I'll see you later. Bye for now. Hopefully the light will improve a bit because it's a bit dark and dingy today. Bye for now.